Hello. Today I am going to do a video on the latest monolith. Here we go again. So we have another monolith discovered on December the 2nd of 2020 in Atascadera, California, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and I apologize if I'm not. I don't want to offend anybody. It was found at the top of a trail in Southern California, Pine Mountain Trail, in Atacadero Park. And so what makes this, I'm reading off of my notes. What makes this interesting is one, it's the third of these monoliths. And I've actually considered and then discarded the idea of doing a video because there's even some question of whether or not there's these similar type monoliths in outer space, like one on the moon, one on Phobos, the moon of one of the planets. And I should know that, but it's not occurring to me right at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about it. But anyway. And the day after each of the monoliths was discovered and discussed and brought to the attention of the public, they have disappeared. They're all similar in height. They're all three-sided. And so I got to thinking about this. What is this an artist? I mean, I've wondered if it was otherworldly, and I've done a video on asking that question. Of course, you know, as I've said, I don't know. I don't have a bestie that's an alien, so, you know, I don't get the 411 that way, so I have to be kind of realistic. But something else is occurring to me, and when I do the numerology on it, I'm coming up with something interesting, really. They all are three-sided. This has happened in 3 locations, and 3 is a crisis response. It's a crisis response. It's a crisis response times 3. But we are operating in the age of Aquarius as of very near future. So the 3 monoliths and the 3 sides equals 9. And is this symbolically artwork expressing the age of the Aquarian or the Aquarian age? Well, you know, I don't know. Is it another area of notes that I have? And I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out here because this is for me, what I am doing on these videos is it is a quest for truth that has not been available to us. That is what I do on this channel. That is what I'm going to make my channel about long term, is what is going on out there and what is the truth. Okay, and we had this in the 1938, October 30th, 1938. We had Orson Welles do a play on the radio called The War of the Worlds. And honestly, it occurs to me that the monoliths are a warning. Don't be deceived. This chaos is to deceive you. And I think I'm settling on that as possible. I think I've decided that it's entirely possible that, much like during Da Vinci, that somebody somewhere has gotten the idea, that has a lot of money, mind you. You have to be a billionaire to do this. I am certain of that. Has gotten the idea to communicate with us in this artistic, numerical way. And in some ways, I want to, my numerologist, which is Pearl Rowland, I want to take her all the places, the names of the places, the dates they were found, the dates they were removed, and see if we can come up with a pattern, because I think that there's something consistent here. But what I'm starting to wonder is, are they trying to warn us that our country is maybe, or our world is staging what is going to be an otherworldly attack that isn't real? Now, that I don't know that, and what would be the value of this kind of well, it would unite us. It would have it would have a way of causing us to come together. And I hope that they don't use something like that, because I believe that when I was younger, that I was taken at the age of 14. And I don't think I want to go into it yet. I'm just not ready. I don't have my thoughts collected enough. As strange as that is, I'm 60 years old and something happened to me at 14, and I still don't have my thoughts collected enough to talk about it. So, that's just my truth, and I'm not going to expect something of myself I can't do. But I want to say that I think that extraterrestrial energy, if in fact it's true, which I believe it is, I believe I've had an experience, so I'm an experiencer. If it's true, then of course our governments everywhere could use it as a means to harm us, and also as a means to unite us. But I can't help but feel like at this time that the meanings behind it are not good. And the number 3 is going to be your wounded healer. And boy, do we ever need healing. And I think that as we go into the Aquarian age, the healing will be, the healing that's necessary will be of an epic nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply ask the cards to please help us understand, given that this is now the 3rd monolith. And I know on the second video, although I provided a quick video on it, I didn't really give it as much time and thought as after the second one. I did decide that I needed to meditate and pray quite a bit on this, because it's just something I don't understand. So when the 3rd one came out, I wasn't ready to put out a video until today. I wasn't ready to really even go there, because I just needed to let it resonate in my mind, and I needed to think it through. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the Spellcaster deck, and we're just simply going to ask, Spirit, is this the work of an artist? Is this the work of an artist billionaire, or billionaire and an artist? It could be both. Is this a work of somebody trying to provide us with a message? And I find it curious that the 3 monoliths and the humanitarian number 9, that is what came to mind. And is there other things involved in this? Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select my 14 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. All right, let's gather these bad boys up. See what we got. Okay. All right, so the foundation of the reading is the 3 of Wands. How sweet is that? Okay, that something new is coming, and from another perspective. So from overhead even. So maybe dimensionally something different. And I have said that in my first video that this could be other dimensional. Who knows? Maybe we see what we're allowed to see. Maybe it's a holographic universe. Maybe it's, who knows? It could be a lot of things. We get caught up in the physicality of who we are, and we forget that we understand so little about who we are that we're difficult to define. So, and I'm on the quest for some truth. I mean, I want to know, who am I, and how did I manifest into this place and this time of such chaos? So with that, let's begin. That is the foundation, and let's start out. Okay. Um, that is an excellent card that provides me a deep amount of assurance because I wasn't sure that this wasn't somebody that was trying to tell us that things are so out of control that you can expect some things to really go wrong. And, it kind of has me creeped out a little bit because three is the wounded healer. But you have to assume there's some wounding. And I don't want to be wounded anymore. And I don't think any of us do. I think we're all tired of being wounded. I think we're tired. But we get the star card, the card of hope that something beyond us is in charge and to remain hopeful. So let's keep looking. And in the age of Aquarius, that's pretty hopeful. Okay, and then we get regarding these towers, we get the Six of Wands. Yes, we've had two, and now there is the third one. And yes, it is to move us forward. It is to get us to think. And why do I stop at the second one? Because it's just right there in that center, crossing and questioning that star, what it is that we have to be hopeful for. And so it's a matter of us participating in the process. I am going to turn off my ringer on my phone. I always forget to do that, and boy, oh boy, it'll be a noisy thing if it wants to, I guess, huh? In the above position, we get the Nine of Swords, that we've been deeply embattled intellectually, and that this battle is about over. And that, notice the loyal dog in the game, that, we've always been watched over. It's not like at any time we're not loved and looked after, but it sure has felt like we've been neglected and we've been in this really cold and uncomfortable place. But in fact, this card suggests that there is something that is loving behind us and that is wanting us to have information. And notice the mountains in the background and the light shining in between the two peaks, and now the three peaks, because now we have three, but you have in between, in the middle was two, and now you have three. Perhaps that Nine of Cups, our relationships, that humanitarian energy is being brought to our attention. And let's hope so, because I'm so tired of the battle. And because we've been deeply embattled, we have been instructed by one of, we're the masses, and the very select few are asking us to do things that are not in our best interest. And so these monoliths are here to remind us to maybe look before we swing that stick, because perhaps what we're hitting is going to create further damage to ourselves. So that is that. In the below position, we have the Four of Swords, the structure of things, the information that we have been given, the education that we've been provided, how they've maintained us in this structural box of life, and not learning to jump out of the flea box, if you will. That was always my dad's saying, that if you choose to stay in the box, you'll always be in the box. But you keep jumping, and you jump a few times, and you learn when you're little that there's a roof there, and then eventually that roof disappears as you become older, and you keep jumping, but you only jump so high because that roof is there. And what he encouraged me to do as a human was to learn to jump as an adult and to forget about what I was told, because it's worthless. And that part of my childhood is the one thing I agree with. But the truth is that how we have been structured, the structure of our thoughts have been highly limiting. Okay. And in the very near future, we get the Seven of Pentacles. How we give and receive coin. Everything is going to change, and that card there. Okay, so I have had a sense of another sense, and this is just needs to go, I guess, with this part of this video because it's just relevant. I had a vision, and I thought this was going to take place in November, but as I have stated in previous videos, that timelines for tarot card is very difficult. And what I love about astrology is it does help me to batten down timelines a little better. And then I use a divining board to additionally batten down information. But on this particular one, I haven't done as much work as I could do. But I have concluded that by the 13th of December, we are going to see the way we give and receive coin is going to be jeopardized. It is going to start to change on a fundamental level. So that in the very near future. Okay, and then we get the Six of Cups in at the heart of the question, you know, that happy family, us wanting to get back to the happy family. And are these monoliths here to say that there is a way forward for you to come back to some place of happiness? And again, it's that six, that multiples of three, that sense of belonging in a family, that nurturance, that sense of well-being. Okay, then we get the Queen of Swords, kind of that feminine energy coming in to say that there are some serious limitations and things are rather cold out there right now. And so that does sort of work with how I do feel about the monoliths, and that these monoliths are being brought forward to provide you with some thoughts. I know what they are, of course, but I want you to think. I want you to use your big brain, and I want you to think it through. So that would be that card. And then in our hopes and fears position, that is so the truth. We are in illusion and delusion, thinking this, thinking that, all over the place. And I do think that there is a message in these monoliths. Of course there is. But my guess is that it isn't. It's probably to get our attention to say, look, folks, you are operating in some illusion and delusion. And I don't mean to say it's just in the country of the United States. I'm doing my podcast from the United States. It's worldwide. We are throughout the world where we have come to this place, this pinnacle of chaos. And perhaps this pinnacle of chaos is in its death roll. I surely hope so. In the conclusion position, we get the King of Pentacles. That it is being concluded. The way we give and receive coin, how we've gone about things. It does need. The monoliths are telling us that you've created an environment that now you need to heal from. You've wounded yourselves. You've wounded yourselves financially. You've wounded the earth, and you've wounded your souls. And now you need to heal yourselves, okay? And we get the Queen of Pentacles, that feminine energy coming forward with a divine plan that's going to be different than what we've had in the past. And I know a lot of people might feel like, does this mean we're going to go to a one monetary system? We may. I don't know. I know that I feel like whatever is coming, it is for the good of all. It is not for the good of one, it is for the good of all. And I think that is a necessary upgrade for all of us. And perhaps these monoliths are here to tell us that how you've interacted with each other has been delusional. And I'm here to tell you that there are limits to what you can do to planet Earth, and there's limits to what you can do with items and your thoughts. And this feminine energy is coming in to say no more, no thank you. Take your illusion and go. Pack your bags. You're out of here. Okay? And so that's interesting. And then we get the Empress. This energy moving forward with the Queen, bringing us something new. But notice that she is sitting with a bull, something Taurian, something more home, the thoughts of life and home. Somehow we've gotten away from considering the well-being of our neighbors or our friends. Or in our societal sense, we've lost contact with being concerned about whether or not we are feeding hungry children. So yes, we do need to take a good deep look at ourselves and the way we take care of things that are important, okay, to us. And it is going to lead to very rapid transformation. The monoliths are here to show us that change is coming. It is here. It's not even coming. It's here. And so the message is almost an emergency message. One of a wounded healer. It encompasses the threes, and it encompasses the hope of a humanitarian energy. And how that will all play out, who knows, but it will involve some difficulty. It'll involve some rapid transformation that probably for all of us will be uncomfortable and really will not care for it. But as a hope card, we get the strength that as we move forward, we will be operating in strength, where we have been operating in illusion and delusion, where we've been operating in illusion delusion. We're going to come out and we're going to be operating in some strength. And I think that is a necessary reality for us. This is a necessary change. And of course, it goes back to this foundation of the reading, this Three of Wands, this alchemical process of how we produce things has to be looked at. And notice the bird in the background, and she's raising her hands. It's like from above there is going to be connection to the below, and it is going to come together as the foundation. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. How we give and receive is going to change, and hopefully it is going to become fair and balanced. And with that, thank you for joining me here today. Please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and join myself and Pearl Rowland, who is my numerologist and tarot card reader, on www.twiggie.com. And on that site, you will find that we have astrology services where I can provide you with reporting. And we also have tarot bookings, which we can then provide you numerology or tarot. And I do a reading that is a tarot astrology reading personally designed to you. And with that, thank you so much for joining me here today.